All right, good evening, everyone. Host AJ Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So we have another coaching series this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Instagram at this time. Got a few announcements towards the end, so stay tuned till the end also, okay? But welcome. If you're new, welcome. Happy to have you on here. And Zoom is spinning, so we're trying to let some people into Zoom now. But if you have any questions, like I mentioned before, recording on here, send it through a DM, drop a comment on there. I am paying attention to Instagram. Let's see. There we go. So all right, good. All right, so there we go. Attendees are starting to come into the Zoom there. We're spending there for a few minutes, but okay, so we're just getting started. So tonight's topic for this evening, and don't forget on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's GMHE members only. If you have not attended, you can send us an email. We can let you in on the first call at no expense, of course, free to you all. But that's when we really go deep dive into the actual topic. And excuse the lighting in here is a little dim tonight this evening. So, but we do cover a lot more in depth on that. That's where you can also bring a lot more questions. But we'll try to cover as much on. It is typically the same topic Sunday as it is Wednesday. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of deals, a lot of investments, a lot of traveling coming up ahead as well. Like I mentioned before, anytime we travel, that is good for you all. That's where we connect with more park owners, get more inventory, more deals, and available for you all, especially GMH students, okay? But tonight's topic, so this has been requested a few times, is show me the steps to mobile home investing. Now, a lot of you do things differently, and I want to point that out now is you don't have to follow a specific blueprint to be successful in certain things, okay? You don't have to follow a specific blueprint to be able to invest in your first, second, or third mobile home. So a lot of ways that a lot of people may do them, and I'm saying this for a lot of you new investors, is if you ask me one thing, I'm going to give it to you one way. You ask another investor, they're going to give it to you another way. Neither is right or wrong, but it works. It works for them. So just remember that, okay? If you are learning from multiple people, I would say take the best from each one and add your version to it. Add your version as to how you're going to do the investing, okay? So you want to be doing that. But I'm going to show you my steps that I take. These are the steps that I've done for many, many years, over 7 years now, and probably will continue to do it the same way because we do not fix what's not broken, okay? So, we just kind of keep it rolling on there. But it is the steps to, like I said, your first, second, or next deal. And some of y'all, veterans as I like to call them, y'all may be very good at a certain specific, whatever that may be, but you have certain weaknesses. So focus on those weaknesses also. And as I'm going through these lessons here, if you do have questions, send us a DM, email, or you can connect with us. We are doing a consultations at this time. Again, we can only do so many throughout the week. Of course, we're doing a lot of traveling, but I can sit with you individually for a good 10-minute consultation and just kind of backfire whatever I can help you on that. Okay. So tonight, let's see. Every step from start to finish, I'll tell you right now, we're not going to have enough time for all that. We're going to go through one by one in the steps, okay? And come Wednesday, that's when we're going to break them up. So lead generating, you have to have leads coming in. Now with us, you are lucky in a way because you can reach out to us and say, hey, I'm investing in so-and-so areas. I'm looking for this and that. What inventory do you have now or do you have coming available? We can connect you with other park investors, other park owners, other investors, other connections we may have, maybe boots on the ground, or we may have inventory there. Because that's one thing I remind a lot of people is don't just go by what's on a spreadsheet. I will never upload every deal we have on a spreadsheet. That spreadsheet, if you don't know what I'm talking about, send us an email. That's our full inventory sheet that we have. If I uploaded every deal opportunity that we have on there, there would be hundreds of deals. Okay, so a lot of them don't make it on there. But let's see a few more people still trying to join in. Zoom is a little slow, so y'all bear with me. I think it's my internet connection too. But you have to have leads regardless. And, don't just depend on us. Also, if there's certain markets that we're not operating in yet, even though we may have connections, you have to know how to get leads coming in. Before anything else is you have to know how to bring deals. You should always be wholesaler. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but wholesaler is not something you come in starting out. Most, especially real estate investors, come in as wholesalers because it takes no money. You come in, you take control, you put something in agreement. You never really own it, never really pay anything, maybe a very small deposit, but you turn around and you sell the rights, if you will. You assign it to somebody else. And that's how a lot of real estate investors come in. There's no money there in their pocket, no funding. So they start building their wealth that way. And then they branch on to something else, but they tend to leave the wholesale behind. And in real estate, especially, wholesaling is seen as a rookie move, as a newbie. Well, if you are lead generating, if you're branding, marketing, advertising like we coach you to do so, you will realize that you're going to have more and more deals coming in each and every day, which is where our spreadsheet, that spreadsheet that I keep talking about, the deals, that was for me. That's how I just, here, let me create a spreadsheet. Let me just start putting my investment opportunities here, and it just started growing and growing. And I can only do so many deals at one time. So I thought, well, let me branch this off to our students and then to our investors. And then it just kept growing. And the sheet has gone bigger and bigger. And that's part of our connections that you can have as well. But that's what I'm getting at, is that the more deals you have, you're not going to invest in every one of those. It is impossible. But you never want to turn a deal, especially a good deal, away. And earlier on, there were times when I turned many away. Looking back, that was a very crazy move, but I was busy. I was trying to quotation do the smart thing. Let me focus, which that's good. But I was telling people I'm not ready to invest in that yet, and just let it be. We don't do that. You lock those up under agreement and you create a win-win-win situation. The seller needs to sell, okay? Get a buyer to buy. That means the seller gets to sell. A buyer could be an investor of yours that you can wholesale to. They get an investment. They get their mobile home, so they win on that, and you make some profit. Win-win-win, and you don't allow those investors to pass up. Don't hesitate on deals either. That's another thing. 7 years ago, mobile homes were very alien, were very fresh. Nobody really knew. And even today, if you visit your local RIAs, your investments, you'll realize that there's not a whole lot of mobile home investors there. You could be that go-to guy. You could be the one they call to, okay? Put more people in. But, yeah, all right. Good evening. A few more people has joined us on Instagram as well. Awesome. I want to meet a couple people on here. You can unmute yourself at any time. If you do need to speak, drop a question. I'm not paying attention to the chat. All right, but lead generating, definitely. You need to keep advertising for deals, and you wholesale. The more deals that come to you, the more you will wholesale. I'll wholesale more today than I ever have before, and it's because of the inventory growth, okay? So you have to have your deals there. Now, a lot of investors don't want to get started into mobile home investing because they don't know the first step. So I tell them, we'll get some deals, get some leads coming in, and then we'll decipher them and see if that's a good deal, not a good deal, whatever. We'll break them down. But then it comes to communicating with the sellers. If you're blasting on social media like we coach you, or even physical, bandit signs, bandit cars, whatever it may be, you will start to get phone calls coming in. You will start to get people messaging you on social media, okay, DMs, whatever it may be, reaching out to you. What do you say to them? What is the information you gather? That's the next step. Is you want to find deals, or deals coming to you. That's the best way, but you want to have a questionnaire. These are the questions that I need to ask. Don't ever half rear that, okay? Don't get so much information and then call them back 10 minutes later. Hey, what year was this? Hang up 10 minutes later. What was the site? That's unprofessional. Get all those questions answered on the first call, and don't sound like a robot, okay? Don't sound like you're just reading down the path. And what year is it? What make is it? Well, you just conversate, but get all the information up in front so that you know if this is even a good deal. Don't overspend time on something that is not a good deal from the get-go. If you understand the market, you understand the numbers, which that's the next one, MAO, maximum allowed offer, and what you can offer. If you know that something is worth 2,000 to 5,000, easy numbers, and somebody's asking 16, 17,000 in a very, very beat up, distressed mobile home status, you're not in the same ballpark. I would not focus so much on that until I get it even in the same ballpark, if you will. Don't spend time to go see it. I know I do push for y'all to go and review mobile homes so that you get a better idea, but don't spend time on something that's not a deal. And what's happening a lot is there is a lot more investors coming into the niche now, into the game. And I don't know where they're coming up with their numbers. It's humorous to a certain extent, because I'm seeing some of these numbers, example, South Carolina, up in the areas of Florence. And, I'm seeing some of these numbers, and they're trying to do business, which is good. Their emails are professional, but they'll have something crazy like a 22,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in a very distressed level, and it needs to be moved. And there's no title, and it must be moved by tomorrow. Nonsense like that. You know who you're seeing, but these guys are obviously new, but the numbers have to be there. Your maximum allowed offer is huge. Nothing goes past at that point. If we're not even going to agree to terms into what we're going to pay for the mobile home, then we don't need to keep conversating. But you do need to follow up. And not a whole lot of people are going to buy something severely overpriced like that when it comes to a mobile home. So now the only way to understand what the MAO, maximum allowed offer, is if you understand the market numbers. Okay. If I could pinpoint one mistake that I see mobile home investors making when they're getting started, is they do not know what the value of mobile homes are as is. If you do not know what the value of mobile homes are, you have no business making offers, period. You need to know that. Now, quickly, I'll go through that list here. We're rolling through time. So the market numbers are always, you have to start from an N number and work yourself backwards. So think what an ARV will be. What is the after repair value? If I was to buy this mobile home here, fully rehab it, beautiful condition, whatever, it is move-in ready, I can sell it for easy numbers, 20,000. Okay, then 20,000. Now the guy, her, she, whoever it may be, selling me the mobile home for 16,000. You're gonna have to count what is all going to take in it to make it livable, presentable, and get that 20K ARV. When you account for material, when you account for labor, when you account for holding, for insurance, for utilities, you see these bills start adding up. Now you put all those together and you say, okay, where am I at versus my final after repair value? That'll be able to give you a number that you can pay for the mobile home itself. Now, to some people, more is okay, less is, whatever it may be. No deal, no investment is the same. But I want to be all in about a third, okay? About a third of what the after repair value, typically, okay? If you're halfway in, you're still making money, still an investment, but you just kind of get an idea where I'm going with the numbers. So, and I'm sure I'll get questions on that. Email me, happy to break that down. We'll make a coaching on that. Due diligence, you have to do due diligence again, before anything is closed, anything we're really doing, even before we pay for a deposit, I would already be doing a due diligence on the mobile home itself. If it's in a community park, it will involve also reaching out to the park owners, park managers, whoever manages it, and asking a lot of questions on the lot and the home itself. Part of the due diligence is you're trying to also catch, and I want to tell you right now, 9 out of 10 sellers will lie to you. Welcome to mobile home investing. They will lie to you. They'll lie to your face. They'll lie through a phone. And when you quotations catch them with it, they'll still try to lie or make up an extent. A quick example. All right, Mr. John. Here we use Mr. John. Mr. John, you're selling me this 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now the taxes, they're up to date, right? Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Awesome. The lot rent. Now, you should be making notes because these are the due diligence. Taxes. Are taxes paid up to date? Taxes on a mobile home are paid the same way as a vehicle because that's what a mobile home is. It is personal property and it is paid, it is bought, it is sold, it is closed, no different than a car, boat, motorcycle, et cetera, et cetera. It is done in the same place, by the way, which we'll get to that in a second. But the taxes are paid every year at the DMV or tax assessor's office. Now, when an owner does not pay for the taxes for that year, okay, there is a pretty large fee that gets hit after X amount of months, and then it just rolls through. Following year, if they still don't pay for that, now they have double of that. Now, most states, city, counties, okay, especially in the Southeast where we invest the majority, after 2 years, it goes on what is called a tax sale. Some of you that do big time investing in real estate, you know what I'm talking about. Court sale every Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it may be on the county. That mobile home will be there. Now, here's where it's going to affect you. Lesson learned, I'll say that to me early in my career starting in mobile homes. We bought a mobile home that had taxes unpaid for 2 years. So obviously we're going to do the due diligence like we're supposed to. We rushed through. It was a good deal. It still was a good deal. We ended up profiting money, but we didn't check on the above like I'm telling you. I took the seller's advice. Yes, he had paid the above. And sure enough, when I went to transfer the title, they said, no, that this home is actually on a tax sale, which is happening in less than a month from now. So I had to catch up the taxes that had been unpaid, plus the fees that had been attached, plus removing it off the tax sale was like another $200-300 because it had already been placed into the system. So it took a pretty penny to get it off of it just to save my mobile home. Somebody suggested, well, you could have just let it go through and bought it at the CoSteps for $1. We'll make that for another coaching call. Actually, that's actually a good call because I would say no, do not rely on that. Somebody else could come by and buy it from you. Know you're in debt. We'll make a coaching on that. But bottom line, sellers will lie to you each and every time. So you want to do that. And that is as simple as making a phone call. Now, I want to give you that as well. If you call the tax assessor's office and you say, hey, I need to get information, see if the taxes are paid on this in specific mobile home, they're probably going to tell you, if you are not the owner, we cannot give you information. So the way to structure that is always hold them above and make it about them, how they can benefit. Try that with everything you do, by the way. With anything in mobile home investing, if you hold somebody above and you add value to them, okay, they're going to be a little more willing to work with you. The way I would do that is, let's use Miss Johnson now. Okay, Miss Johnson at the tax assessor's office. Yeah, so I am looking to purchase a mobile home at 123 Bessemer, whatever road. It's the mobile home community. Now, before I close on it, I want to make sure that the taxes are paid, because if they're not, I want to come and see you first. You see what you did there? Okay, you're holding them above and you're letting them know, I want to take care of you first. Now, whether you do or not, I mean, you better do so. But in this way is, I'm buying it from so and so. Give them the name. Give them the individual owner's name and tell them, just let me know what the total is due, if anything. And they will be happy to tell you it is so and so. Now, you can also do so online. A lot of states you can log in just really as a guest and pretend it's almost as if you're going to pay the taxes, and you'll get a balance of what is owed. So it's pretty easy to see what is going on there. Okay, just and it'll show you each year's paid or not, sort of thing. Part management, that's another one. Is the lot rent up to date? Seller, yes, it is. We've actually paid an extra month in ahead. I love when they tell me that. Nobody pays ahead. I do, but that's because we have many of them. So we call the park manager and we ask them, hey, we're going to be buying this mobile home. If everything checks out, of course, I want to make sure you're clear, you're up to date on your lot rent. And if you can, let us know if there's a balance. They will let you know. And with park managers, typically they will let you know, oh, thank gosh you are buying, et cetera, if there is something behind unpaid, or if they're about to be evicted. Here's how it works on parks. Rent for lot rent is due on the 1st of every month. It is late after the 5th, and after the 15th or on the 15th, there's eviction. So what happens is when they do get the eviction, they have X amount of days, typically 7 to 10, then there follows a writ. We're working on some of that stuff, by the way, now. And it'll also help you when you're making an offer, because if a seller is about to be evicted, they are really being tossed out without their home, and they're about to lose it all. So, with you in the sense of negotiating, by no means do I say take advantage of, but it's really going to put you in that point of, okay, so these sellers are a lot more stressed. They're distressed to sell. They have to sell versus somebody upgrading and make it around to the sell. But it's something you need to know, because again, when you're buying these mobile homes like this, title or not, and it better be a title, you could be buying a mobile home that has liens. You could be buying a mobile home that owes taxes, lot rent. All those are things you're going to have to come and pay. Okay. So definitely doing the above. Now we'll get onto the closing here in a few minutes, but getting contractors. No, I want to go ahead and add that too. Never pay somebody in full. If a seller is selling you a mobile home for X amount, and they're saying, I will pay the lot rent after I get the money you give me, and I'll take care of the taxes, that is an immediate red flag. No, do not. Just like I said, they're lying to you. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to say, I'm going to deduct it from what I'm going to pay you. I will take care of this. You don't have to waste your time. I'm going to go to the taxes and I'm going to pay them. I'm going to go visit the park manager and I'm going to take care of that. It is usually humorous when I respond to them in that sense. I've done my paperwork with them and I've asked them, and yes, taxes are up to date, lot rent is up to date, and then I come back to them, very professionally. So, after doing our due diligence, like we do on every property, we notice that you have not paid taxes in 2 years. As a matter of fact, it's about to be on a tax sale. And you also owe lot rent a couple of months also, which they were talking eviction. Now that's your personal there, but it is money that is owed, obviously. Oh yeah, I was going to take care of that as soon as you paid me. It's almost like they're surprised that you caught them on that. But again, never do that. If you're going to do that, deduct it from. That's the only way that it works. You pay it directly to them, and then you can do the closing. Okay. Then so let's recap real quick. Lead generating. So you've advertised for deals. You should be using social media, by the way. Physical advertising, have at it, but I don't suggest it. It is a waste of time, takes money, too much effort, and the results are minimal. Again, try it. If it works for you, awesome. Then learning how to communicate. 3 different types of sellers: park owners, park managers, and direct sellers. A direct seller is a individuals that live in a mobile home. It could be investor, wholesalers. Treat them both as obviously direct sellers, but those are the 3 types that you have. Park owners, easiest ones to talk to, especially if you're talking numbers and adding value. Park managers can be hard to deal with, but if you're adding value, they can definitely welcome you in. And direct sellers can be the hardest ones as well, because they think theirs is worth the most. Typical owner who is trying to sell, they think their home is worth more than anything else in the park. typical, right? And then figuring out your market. Like I said, start with your end number always after repair value. What is that last number? And then just deduct. Once you deduct everything and you add everything together, what is the margin that you have as your ROI? That'll determine, is this a good deal? Is it not? Don't try to force a deal that's not a deal into a deal. It's never going to work. You start with a very high number, you're already starting from a very weak side. Should anything go wrong, and there are surprises, your budget will be shot repeatedly. So don't do that. Okay. Due diligence on the mobile home. That is also not just to pay for documents, but if you do not know how to invest in mobile homes, you've never done it, and you don't know what you're looking at. If you go out there and walk a mobile home and okay, it has a few rooms, it has a couple bathrooms, but now what kind of thing? That's not going to help you very much. You have to be looking out for actual issues, actual problems, anything that needs to be repaired. I want to know about it. Now, again, if I don't know what I'm looking at, then what you need to do is get your handyman or contractor to come with you. Get them to walk around. Some will charge you, most should not, because you know, the intention when I hire any handyman contractor or I'll bring them along with me to review something, it's always, you know, if we invest in this mobile home, you will be hired. So that's typically the way it works. And I will hire them. I'm just not telling them that, you know, definitely, you know, don't use the contractor repeatedly just to go review something if you're not really intending on purchasing. So keep that in mind. But you do want to also keep in mind accountability for our contractor. It is not so much just hiring them. Hiring a contractor can actually be pretty easy. It's can you keep them working? Can you keep them showing up? Can you keep them doing the work? And also continuing to do on and on for years to come. That's, you know, when I hire a contractor, it's, even though I have backups after backups, I want to stick with one crew, because the more we work together, the more we learn each other. I have crews now that I can call them, hey, go check out that unit. That's all. Go check out that unit. Let me know. They know what I'm looking for. They know what needs to be done. Okay. Because they know how they're going to rehab, and we've already built that relationship. So it is very important that you keep crews that way. If they do good, reward them. If they don't, well, it's time to cut your ties. Okay. That's how that works. Now let's move forward. Exit strategies. Exit strategy is a step that you need to know after, but also one that you should know even before, or at least have an idea. You cannot invest in a mobile home if you have no exit strategy. Wing it as you go, or I'll figure it out as I go along, is not going to work. The reason I say is because we have many exit strategies that we use. Now, every exit strategy works, different profits, different margins, but every exit strategy does not work in every market. Let me explain. So trying to do certain flips, certain rentals in areas where the lot rent is very high and the rentals is very low, your margins are going to be very slim. And I've used this example. I'm going to quit calling that city out. Okay. There was a city where the lot rents were around $400 to $450 a month. The rental rates were around $500 to $550. You're talking $100 profit as a rental. Now think about it. If the toilet leaks, if the sink defaults, if something goes wrong, all your profits are going to be gone and then some. So you don't want to invest in areas like that on that exit strategy. That market would be great for wholesaling, for quick immediate flips, for any other exit strategy besides holding and getting collective very low numbers. Okay. All right. So exit strategies. Yeah. So definitely have an idea. And we do have a coaching where we're going to cover every exit strategy. You know, this year, 2022, January, we introduced 2 exit strategies that we are now using, including one of my favorite, Airbnb. It's phenomenal. Airbnb is the way to go. Yes, very good. Now, it also helps out that I have a partner who manages that. I don't manage the Airbnb side directly. We just provide the home, if you will, and we just profit that way. But rentals, rent-to-owns, creating nodes, financing, you know, you can move them. You can create the services for park owners. A lot of you are wondering, how can I do business with park owners? And typically the best way is to drive through a mobile home park and see what is needed. If you see empty pads, that's a service you can provide. And it's a good one because all you have to do is find inventory. A lot of people are giving mobile homes away for free if you simply get rid of them. Get it off my land and you can have it. Clear title, everything. Just, I want it to be gone. Well, you know, another coaching for that, but we can easily connect the park owner with the seller. We can be the middle guy. We can profit, you know, great margins on that as well. Selling with financing is huge. It is something that we now, we do have a couple. They're more personal. They're more direct. It's not actual banks or credit unions, but they are trying to get involved a lot more with the whole notes, the whole financing. And they're basically trying to take our spot. I'm not against it. I'll finance the people because I have to in a way. We are providing affordability housing. Don't forget all that is when you invest in mobile homes, it's affordability housing. Okay. You are selling for, let's say our numbers, 20, 25,000. Well, even then, I don't expect everybody to have 20 or 25,000 cash on their back pocket, or they'll probably be trying to buy a stick built. But what they do have is maybe 5,000, 10,000 as a down payment, and I will create financing on the remaining balance. Of course, at that point, if you want to do it in the sense of charging interest, and I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I cannot give you legal advice. All this is for educational purposes. But there's ways to tack on extra fees on there or interest where you can get more on at the end, and you're providing that affordable housing option to them. So it's never been an issue. To me, it was an opportunity to come in and be able to finance for people. They get the home, I get paid, I get passive income every month. I load their check, so forth and so on. So few more people. Good evening on Instagram. Thank you for joining me. We are just at the end. So if you are just now joining, you can check out our website, garciamhu.com. Tomorrow morning about 10 a.m. we'll have this recording up on our YouTube. You can catch the recap on that as well. So what do you think? Good stuff? Hope so. Maybe. Okay. We got a few more topics on here, but we're right at 8:30. So Wednesday evening, I did this one time. I'm going to do it. And I was talking about it live on TikTok and Instagram Saturday morning. What I want to do is any and everyone who wants to come on the Wednesday call, because I mentioned it's for members only. If you want to come and join us, it is going to be no fee this one time Wednesday. Send us a DM, send us an email. Simple. Hey, I want to join the Wednesday call. Send me the link to it. We will send you an ID link credentials for the Zoom, and you can join us. We're going to be covering these topics a lot more in depth, a lot more specifics. Have your questions, bring your questions ready for me. Happy to answer them. Of course, we always open the floor at the end. That's when we cover a lot more on the above. And yes, make it about mobile home investing questions. Don't bring me commercial lands, and we don't do none of that. So we do, but we don't get involved as much. So I don't see any questions on there or Instagram. So, all right, a few more topics we'll cover. We'll get into land packages. That's something that's huge. If you are trying to get into mobile homes, but you don't want to be in a community park, no harm, no shame on that. I don't blame you in a way. It is nice to own the land and also control it. And there's so many opportunities. If you have the land and you have the mobile home, my gosh, you can rent out the mobile home and treat it like a park. You pay me for the mobile home for rent. You pay me for the lot. You can sell it on a note, okay, and then still only sell the mobile home and then charge on the lot rent for years to come. So look, a lot of things that you can do. You can add value overnight. So, that's another topic we'll cover. We'll also cover how to get into mobile home parks. Most of us get it started into mobile home investing with one mobile home, two mobile homes, and we kind of multiply slowly as we go along. In the end, all of you should own a mobile home park. That's the goal. And you also need to learn how to invest virtually. Stop trying to go to every mobile home. When you're new, yes, go see them, go review them. I want you to walk them and see them so that you get more acquainted with them, if you will. But towards the end, I want you to realize it can be done behind a desk right here. When I go out in the field, it is for masses. It's not one mobile home. It is I'm building connections and a lot more things we're out in the field doing. But all right, 8:30. So thank you all for watching this evening. Join our page. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe on our YouTube. That helps us out. But everyone have a good night. We'll see y'all Tuesday night. Thank you for watching.